Okay, here we are back in the heat cooker. There's my little cockatiel climbing up to the water bowl. I don't know why everybody thinks they gotta clip their wings, but she's working it. And she knows that water bowl is cool. You'll stand in it and get cooled off. See that? This is a cockatiel taking care of herself. She needs to stay cool, and the minute they put those naked little feet on something cool, they feel better. And the parakeets, down here on the ground. I'm watering the bottom of their cages. They're made of earth, and so they're nice and damp and cool. And they will stay down there pretty much all day. There's a little miss, I don't think I have a name for her yet. She's just a baby. I just got her a month ago or so. Yeah, look at her, staying nice and cool. And these are the boys. There's Blue, there's Storm, and that's Limey. And up here, cooking slightly, is Beryl, previously known as Emerald. My girls are staying out, up off the ground right now. They're all up in there. See that spread wing panting? She'll be on the ground soon. It's nice and damp and cool down there. And even if they're up above it, the water is evaporating and cooling the air inside the cage, so it works like a little swamp cooler. Today is supposed to be the last day of the heat wave and also the hottest. We're supposed to get up to 103. So here's my flight cage. Everybody's up right now. I just sprayed the bottom of the cage, and I sprayed them too, by the way. I put my finger on the end of that and whiz it around the top of the cage and get them all wet, and they'll shake their feathers at me. But if they miss it, they'll fly towards it. There's Hedwig. She's in here getting a break. She's just going to be a bird for a while. And there's her boy Verde over there. So these guys, again, they have to have a nice water, a bath that they can walk around in to cool their feet or fly down onto the ground. I'm going to be keeping an eye on them today. I'll probably have to come out and respray the bottom of their cages several times because the evaporation happens fast when it's 103. Oh, another thing I found out that was very interesting. I actually looked it up online, and it said the English budgie's normal body temperature is 41 degrees Celsius. Yeah, I had to look that up to find out what that means, but what it means is that their body temperature is around 104 to 105 degrees, so that means that they can tolerate heat a little better than we can. Because the whole thing with heat is once the body temperatures are allowed to get up past what's normal, it becomes a problem and they die of, heat stroke. But, and here's, that's Brad down there playing in the dirt box. The floor in here is also wetted down. It's a literal puddle over here behind the fan. And it's, blowing up towards the ceiling because hot air collects up at the top. So there's vents around the top on all sides to let the hot air out. And I have a fan blowing from the bottom where the air is cool up to the top to help normalize temperatures. Otherwise, when we have a 3-bird stack like this, bottom cage, middle cage, top cage, the top cage gets several degrees hotter than the bottom cages. So I'm working to normalize temperatures so that they don't suffer too much. There's Lilith. She's looking okay right now. She's spending a lot of time standing in her box, cooling her feet. All their water bowls are filled up to the absolute brim so they can take a bath in them. Clearly someone took a bath in that one because it's half gone now. That one's been significantly lowered. There's a hot bird. That's Coco. Wing spread, feathers flat to her body. She's not panting yet, but she will be. And strangely, Porky, sitting right next to her, looks pretty undistressed, but he spends a lot of time down there in the dirt box. She may not have figured that one out yet, but she will soon. And there's Sparky. Again, he's not looking too disturbed yet. Where is he? There he is. I gotta back up a little bit here so I can find my birds. So yeah, what happens with the body temperature thing is you get heat stroke when your body temperature gets up above what it's supposed to. It's like an artificial fever. So the fact that their body temperature is 104 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit means that they've got a little farther to go before the heat takes them out. So they're actually going to be pretty heat resistant, which is nice to know. Doesn't mean that they're going to make it, you know, locked in a shed with no way to cool off in their cages. You still have to give them all the options and let them figure out how to keep themselves alive, because your body temperature can get up above because your body is generating heat, and they're warm-blooded just like we are, even as the temperature is rising. Once the temperature gets up at or above body temperature, you're in danger. Look at Brad down there. Can you see him? He's just standing in the box. His little feet are cooling off, and all the blood circulating through them is going up into his body, and he's just nibbling at the dirt, which is probably nice and cool and in his mouth. And if he really gets hot, he'll sit down in there. So these dirt boxes work. They figured them out quick, and I'm really pleased with that, because it's especially crucial when you've got, you know, birds in breeding, going into breeding conditions, that they manage to be able to keep themselves comfortable, because those hens need to feel good enough to keep feeding those babies and making sure they have enough fluids to get those through the day. We have not lost any babies because of this heat wave. Everybody that hatched is still with us. Okay, so that's the update on the heat wave. I'll keep you posted.